What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into the X-Men with issue number 9. If you have not been keeping up with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with this relaunch. What we have seen so far, really across all of the X-Men titles, is our narrative, our plot, it's really getting pushed forward. It looks like we're starting to move into the endgame, and X-Men number 9 is no exception to that. Because what we have seen over the last 9 issues is what seemed to be a bunch of random stories that didn't really have much to do with what is happening in the big spectrum, the big picture of Krakoa and mutant kind. But this issue is showing us that all of those what were seemingly random events, they're not so random anymore. The pieces are all now coming together, and the decisions that they begin to make here moving forward is really going to determine the outcome of all of mutant kind. Now, be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into issue number 9, the 3 events that are taking place are between the Quiet Council of Krakoa, the Great Ring of Arakko, and the Central Column of Orchis. The 3 ruling bodies are all about to make very vital decisions that will affect their people for years to come. And in the Quiet Council, right now they are discussing Orchis, an organization that is hell-bent on the demise of mutants. And whether they like it or not, they need to accept that they are already at war with these guys. What Xavier is proposing is making it official. Make it official that we are going to war with this secret organization known as Orchis. And some of the members of the council, they have their contentment. They're skeptical on making this move because right now they're trying to have peace with everybody. They're trying to ensure mutant kind can use diplomacy. And so if we go ahead and we make this act of aggression, what kind of message does that send to the world, to our supporters? Not only that, mutants that are currently living on Arakko and Krakoa. And so while the Quiet Council, they make the decision on whether or not they are going to make a declaration of war, we pick up with Dr. Stasis and Abigail Brand. And at this point, they have been waiting, just waiting for the opportunity to out the X-Men. Using the reporter, they were hoping that mutant resurrection would have finally been front page news at this point. The only issue is that hasn't happened yet. And while some may worry, Dr. Stasis, he has no concern over this, saying that it will happen in due time. Patience is definitely a necessity. And right now, he is not too concerned on all of the mutant resurrection. What he is concerned about is the post-human, the one known as M.O.D.O.K, being a post-human construct, something that was created specifically to kill and destroy. And Abigail Brand, she's a little hesitant, saying, are you really sure that we need to bring him on board? But Dr. Stasis, he says that we are at war. We all agree on this, and so why not get as many allies on our side that we can? And in the shadows, this is where we see Nimrod. Nimrod working with Dr. Stasis, working with Abigail Brand. They make the decision to go break out M.O.D.O.K, heading to Area 51's above top secret detention facility. This is where they keep M.O.D.O.K. But with Nimrod, Dr. Stasis coming in here, this was no joke. These guys wiped the floor with any guards that may stand in their way. And so with Dr. Stasis making his introduction, with Nimrod just ripping people to pieces, they let M.O.D.O.K know that they are early adopters of Orchis, and they are here to offer him a job. After seeing the experiment that he did on that cruise ship, where he essentially turned everybody into zombies, Dr. Stasis had seen this and saw the great potential, not only in that biological weapon, but also in M.O.D.O.K. And so he has come to offer him a job inside of Orchis. But that is what's going to take us to the Great Ring of Arakko. And right now, everybody is sitting down, discussing what comes next. We have Tarn the Uncaring, Iska the Unbeaten, and of course our Regent Storm, who is talking to all of them. The question that is on the table: will Arakko return to Ameth and resume making war? And what Storm is proposing is that no matter what, war is going to come to our doorstep. Sooner or later, we will be able to make war with those who try to oppose us. And so for her, going to Ameth and trying to make war, going and finding a fight, doesn't seem like the smartest idea for our people to do. But honestly, Storm, she just doesn't have patience today. She doesn't want to deal with it, and she really just wants to put it up to a vote. And with everyone casting their vote, it ends up in a tie. Because Storm is Regent, she gets to be the tiebreaker. Voting this down, at least for the time being, they will not be returning to Ameth. And as they're having this discussion, this is where we see a vine come up to Storm and it hands her a flower. This is a message from Arakko, letting Storm know that she has something she wants to put on the agenda. And that has everything to do with Redroot, the voice of Arakko, much like Cypher is to Krakoa. And the last time that we saw Redroot, it was during the trials in Otherworld. And in that battle, she had been contained, used more or less like an ornament, and she has been stuck imprisoned all of this time. And so what Arakko wants is a rescue mission, wanting everyone to put this up to a vote. Tarn the Uncaring really says that if you really can't escape, if you can't make your way back here, you were never a Rocky to begin with. Tarn the Uncaring laughing his head off of his own jokes. This is where we see Arakko have one of the vines come down and straight knock Tarn the Uncaring out cold. And I absolutely love seeing that. I love seeing Tarn the Uncaring being put into his place by Arakko. You know, we don't see Arakko usually having that much violence. We don't see the islands ever really having that much violence or that many outbursts. But seeing it against Tarn the Uncaring is just absolutely awesome. But with this not getting voted down, with most of them voting yes, the rescue mission is on to go and find Redroot. Taking us to Oblitus, we are picking up with Rogue and Gambit. Now the two of them, they have been looking for this place known as Game World. And we've seen Game World, but only for a few issues. And what's happening on Game World right now currently is that they are betting on all of mutant kind to fail. Who can throw something, a destructive wave of any kind? Really, your imagination is the extent of the rules. And so you can throw any world-ending event, any kaiju, anything you think of towards mutant kind. And then everybody places their bets. They place their bets on if humans of our solar system known as Sol will survive the attack. And so with Rogue and Gambit coming here to find any kind of evidence, find any kind of direction that would lead them to Game World, they find that Destiny, the mother of Rogue, she is sitting here because she has already beat them here. Both Rogue and Gambit, they were hoping to have some kind of discretion, but it's obvious Destiny is already moving ahead of them, but also lets them know that they are not going to find anything here that is going to help them locate Game World, that nobody here actually knows anything. And with some of the locals coming up to Gambit, we see things go sideways very quickly. One of these guys taking something Gambit said as an insult. It doesn't take long for this brawl to break out. Destiny walking over to the bar, ignoring the fight completely. Rogue and Gambit are cleaning freaking house. And while this fight is taking place, while Destiny is sitting there having her cocktail, she is also reminding Gambit how much she just does not like him. And that's all because of her daughter. In her words, her marrying a bumpkin from the bayou like Gambit is just an insult to Rogue herself. Believing that Gambit just isn't good enough, he is not up to par to be the partner to Rogue, saying that he is a disappointment made flesh. At the end of the day, Destiny just completely disapproves of Rogue's decision to be with Gambit. But Gambit also lets her know that we both love her. We may love her in different ways. The only difference truly between us is that my love comes with no strings attached. But with everybody in this bar being taken care of, nobody giving them any kind of answer, Rogue and Gambit, they take off to go find any clue on where Game World might be. Picking us up later back on Arakko, we have Storm coming up to Sunfire. And on this newly terraformed planet, Sunfire is beginning to build his new home, claiming this little spot of land as his own. Storm is warning him that if you choose to claim this area as your own, just know that there will be people that come and try and take it from you. There will be people that come and challenge you for your land. Sunfire already knowing that this is a possibility because he has had many challengers come up. It was only after he killed the one in the helm did they stop attacking. Ever since then, he has yet to have any others come and challenge him. But he doesn't plan to stay here forever. This is more of a temporary thing because with his powers and with his abilities, he is able to travel through space. And so what he really wants to do is explore the stars to see what is out there and how far he can actually go. And after seeing the flower that was in her ear, the flower that had been given to her by Arakko, this is where Sunfire has to show her something. Because when Sunfire had been brought onto the Xmen, he brought with him an oak sapling from Japan. He planted it here on this planet. And ever since then, Arakko has been taking extra special care of it. And from this tree, what we see is the face of Redroot. And so what Arakko is trying to let them know is that she wants her voice back, letting Sunfire know that right now Otherworld is probably the most dangerous place to go. And for the time being, the gateway, it is currently closed. But if it could be reopened, Arakko is asking for our help. Arakko is asking for her voice back. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. When it comes to this issue, I really did enjoy it because like I said, it really is pushing the plot forward. We are moving the stories forward and really getting to this endgame, at least when it comes to Orchis, when it comes to Nimrod, when it comes to all of these pieces that have been falling into place. But what I think I enjoyed most about this issue is really getting to Arakko. I've been waiting for us to really do more with anything going on this new terraformed planet, because we're supposedly having like millions of mutants here, yet we are only seeing those members of the Great Ring. And so hopefully we're going to be diving into more stories about the mutants that are living there, and I am very excited to see how they're going to get to Otherworld, what's going to happen once they get there, because Otherworld, last we left off, was really in a rough place. So it's going to be interesting to see them in there, and also having the return of Redroot is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you have not yet, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out, and until the next breakdown.